My name is David Crisostomo. I'm currently with the University of Guam Sea Grant program, dealing with aquaculture programming.
I'm Denise Crisostomo. I'm a consultant at the Department of Agriculture in the Forestry Division. I work in urban and community forestry.
I'm Michelle Crisostomo. I run a microgreens farm called Tiny Greens Guam and the nonprofit organization Guahan Sustainable Culture.
I was trying to recall my earliest memory, and it was me sitting on my dad's foot, holding his leg as he walked out in the low tide to go fishing, to go reef fishing. And that was a very specific memory that jumped out.
There was always fish around. There was fish in the freezer, fish in the refrigerator, fish we were eating. The whole garage was filled with fish at one point, fish in our swimming pool. Our phone number at one time was 734-FISH, I remember. So yeah, we always grew up around fish. My dad always had us around fish and sea life and learning a lot about that growing up. That's what I remember.
There were a lot of good memories, especially them playing around as little kids. And we had moved into one house that had these big concrete ponds outside, and we were able to fill up the concrete ponds, and it became a giant swimming pool for us. And so that was, everything was in that fish realm. These were fish ponds that weren't being used. And so we were able to take advantage of it and use it as a family recreation pond, at least for a couple of years. And everything else has always been, they love the outdoors. And so go to the beach, get in the water, and I'm always looking for fish. So yeah, no wonder why they feel that.
Around like 2017, when he had asked me to help him on his microgreen farm, and I started learning a lot about growing, food for myself and for others, and getting really excited about it. And that's when I started having conversations with my dad about, what I wanted to do, career-wise, and thinking of just switching my whole career and maybe, focusing on this new passion that I had found through growing the microgreens and just through growing a lot of other types of food, which had always been around as a child, but I, kind of took for granted, or I never really realized, how important it was until I started really getting into it, and he kind of guided me as to what he thought would be a good idea, if I wanted to incorporate education around this. And that's when discussions about a nonprofit would be a good idea. And so we even tossed around some names, and that's kind of the starting point of, Guahan Sustainable Culture.
She was explaining what would turn into Guahan Sustainable Culture. And while she was explaining, I could feel myself getting goosebumps. Something that was sleeping inside of me was kind of waking up for the first time in a long time. And I was reconnecting with things probably from my childhood.
A lot of people, you either love it or you hate it kind of thing. And so we're seeing it nowadays with the younger generation. Like, they don't want to get into farming, and they don't want to get into aquaculture. It's a lot of work, but fortunately they don't consider it work, and that's why they're doing so well with it. It's a joyful activity. It's a lot of work, but when you enjoy doing what you do, it's not so strenuous of a work, and you enjoy that kind of work.
Sejus Maasi, thank you. I think that, I've learned from him that, it's okay to try to switch career paths and start a new venture, no matter what age you are. And so he's given me the confidence to do that. I see him still to this day trying to get into new projects and ventures, and he never stops. He's always got ideas, and so that's really inspired me and helped me to make that step to change my career to do something that I love. So thank thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for showing us how hard work can really pay off, and when you do something that you love, it doesn't always feel like work. It is work and it is hard, but we want to continue doing it because it makes us feel good, and giving back to our home and to our people is really what matters the most in it, and it feels good, and we're happy.
I'm very proud of all my kids. They've all really come up and are doing what they like to do, and surprising me in a lot of cases, in that, wow, you know, I wish I could have done that at their age. So it feels good, and I'm glad to see that they took the good out of all the things that they've gone through in life and taken it to be something that they can call their own, right, and be successful with. So yeah, it's a good feeling.